Hey guys, let me get everything going here. Wasn't quite ready yet. Okay. Hey guys, this is Coach Bill with Fat Loss Made Easy. Hope you guys are having a great Monday so far. Hope you mothers out there had a great Mother Day yesterday as well. We went to my son's house, and my son and his wife cooked my wife a dinner, and of course ate a little more starchy carbs than we both usually eat, but that's okay because we can. And so today I just kind of changed up. This is my non-fasting day. I don't fast today, but I just kind of changed things up a little bit to lessen the amount of carbs that I'm eating today to give my body enough time to burn up the carbs we ate yesterday. Some of it's being stored in the liver, some of it's being stored as glycogen in the muscles. We worked out today very, very hard, so we burned a lot of that glycogen, which was converted into glucose. We burned a lot of that out. But as you guys know, that when you follow, that those of you that follow me know that I like to mix things up all the time. And recently, about 6 weeks ago, maybe 7 weeks ago, I completely changed Emily and I's meal plan. I actually did a BMR on both of us. I just wanted to see where our grams of protein, and I'm not really concerned about the other grams, but where my grams of protein are supposed to be at to build extra lean muscle and to keep burning that body fat. So I decided to go ahead and calculate that out, which I normally don't really care about it because obviously the meals I've put together in my cookbook are already designed to help you lose weight and to add the lean muscle and the protein that you need. But I decided to go ahead and do it, put down a little platform, kind of a little guide for us to go by. And for me, it came out to be my grams per day of protein was supposed to be around 214. Emily's grams per day was around 133. You know, our carb intake is still at 5% of our total calories for the day. Calories I don't care about, it's more of the grams I worry about. Calories, well, it's not about the calories, guys. I've got videos talking about that. Anyway, so about 6 or 7 weeks ago, I did that, and I've learned in that 6 and 7 weeks that you don't have to be really focused on your platform or your fat grams. As far as me, it's 214. If I don't hit it, is it going to cause me not to add lean muscle? Absolutely not. Same with my wife, Emily. If I get 130, 40 to 50 grams in a day, that's sufficient enough for me to keep building and adding lean muscle. So that, and how I know that is my recovery. I'm still recovering. As soon as I walk out of the gym, I never get sore when I exercise. I'm seeing some more definition in my ab area, also in my shoulders. I'm seeing a little more definition. I've added some size onto my shoulders, the caps of my shoulders, and I've added a little more size on my biceps, which are really hard. My biceps are the hardest ones for me to add lean muscle. Apparently it must be working because both of us are getting comments in the gym. So I'm pretty happy about that. So today's topic, guys, that's just kind of an update of what's going on with us. This is one of my ways of getting extra protein in per day. This is my protein fat coffee, which I do on my non-fasting days. Today's topic, guys, is related to the last couple I've done. Seniors. Especially, you know, and I'm also talking about those of you that are 40, aren't quite considered seniors yet, but let's put you in that bracket, 40, 50, and 60 plus. And the last couple of videos I talked about were the mistakes that seniors make when they're trying to lose lean muscle, or trying to lose that unwanted body fat and add lean muscle at the same time. And to be careful about some of these health professionals giving you bad advice about what not to do, as far as how much protein you're supposed to eat, what type of exercising you're supposed to be doing. See, I've heard so many different seniors tell me that their training coach told them that they can't eat a certain amount of protein because it causes your kidneys to be overworked or kidney damage, and science is now saying that that's not true. Also, they're saying that you shouldn't really be doing resistance training because you're old. Joints can't take it. And science is also telling us that's not true. And in the last couple of videos, I've read some of that science off. So I'm back on again today, and this is for you seniors out there. Like I said, I'm adding the 40-year-olds in there because you guys seem to be getting the same issues as the 50s, 60s, and 70-year-olds are getting. So the younger ones are starting to get what the older ones have. And so if you're 40, 50, 60 plus, and you're looking to lose that unwanted belly fat and add lean muscle at the same time, then I'm going to give you 5 things you must do right off the bat. These are the 5 things you got to start with. Of course, there's others, but these are the 5 main things. Number 1, have to have a structured meal plan that includes fasting protocols, which will help activate your muscle building hormones in young and old. It actually, the fasting has been shown by science to actually activate muscle building hormones, like your growth hormones or IGF-1s. And I read last video, I read an actual report showing that when elderly people do resistance training, it elevates the IGF-1 or the other muscle building hormones, especially your growth hormones. So you seniors out there who are looking to slow premature aging, science has been saying this for a while now. By you changing your lifestyle and having a structured meal plan that is high fat, low carbs, and combining it with with intermittent fasting and then graduating into alternate day fasting, you are going to slow premature aging, because the science behind it explains why you will slow premature aging. It's very unique, and has been discovered. It was discovered by a researcher who won a Nobel Prize. So you've got to have a structured plan. A coach comes in handy for the first 60 and 90 days, and the reason for that is because you're going to get a structured plan from an experienced coach, and you're not going to make the mistakes right up front. So you're going to save a whole lot of time, a lot of headaches, and a lot of frustrations. So the meal plan itself is going to help you add lean muscle, slow premature aging, and put you on the right track. It doesn't matter, you're 70, 80, 90 years old, it does not matter. Okay, number 2, you got to start somewhere, right? Okay, now I'm not really into recommendations by the Federal Food Administration because they're wrong. Most of them are wrong. They calculate how many calories you're supposed to have per day and how much grams and all that. I mean, they have calculations, but now today, there's actually some really good health coaches out there that have been doing this for decades, researching it not only on themselves, but on their clients, and they've come up with different what they call BMR calculation, basal metabolism rate. Okay, so what all that means is basically the amount of calories you guys need per day to function. That's it, just to function. not including the exercising and all that stuff. It's just what you need to do or bring in. Let me give you an example. If you figure my age and my height and my weight and stuff, and what I'm trying to do, add lean muscle, and also we're very active. We work out 6 days a week. We do resistance training, and so when you do the formula, my calorie intake is about 3,300 a day, which is too high for me. I mean, it's a baseline. Okay, that's how I put it. Just a baseline, just for me to see. Actually, the calories that work better for me is around 2,500 to 2,600 calories a day. That is going to help me to add lean muscle and to keep losing body fat. So the way most of these trainers do it is they'll take your calculated BMR, they'll subtract the 500 from that, and that will be your calorie intake per day in order to lose 1 pound of body fat per week. I think it comes out to subtracting 500 from your total calorie intake times times 5 is 30 is what our it's 3,500 takes 3,500 calories less a week to burn 1 pound of fat. That's how it is. I don't worry about calories, just like I said. But anyway, what I wanted to do though is I wanted to get a baseline on my carb grams, my fat grams, and my protein grams to see where I need to be. And I can adjust it up or down, however I want to, just on how I feel and how I look and how my training's going. So I did that for both of us. And so now we have a base. And now I know that I need to be somewhere between 150 to 214 grams of protein averaging per day for a 7-day period. I need to be, my fat grams need to be around 60% of my calories, which I think comes out to, I think it's 266 grams of fat per day, which that's at 3,500, but I'm getting about 190 grams per day, which works out great for me. My carbs are still low. Most of the time I'm in a deficit every day. Even on my non-fasting day, I'm at 5% of my calories intake is supposed to be of carbs, and I'm always below that, which works out great for me, which I know. Today I'm going a little lower. On my non-fasting days, 5% of my calorie intake. I think my total gram of carbs per day is supposed to be like, I don't know, 39 or 40, something like that. Normally I'm like 29 or 30, or 28. But today I'm only going to hit about 13 total. And I told you the reason for that is because I had a few more carbs yesterday for Mother's Day than I normally have, and these weren't low glycemic carbs. These were high glycemic carbs, which spiked my glucose pretty high. I felt it. But anyway, so but I'm still getting 100. I'm still going to get 150 grams of protein. That's what my concern was. I want to make sure I get enough protein. So like I said, there's a window. So don't focus so much on what your baseline is and stress about it if you don't reach it, because that's okay. You got a window there. So you're still going to add the lean muscle. Number 3, monitor your blood glucose and blood ketone levels. That will tell you if you're in fat burning most of the time. That will tell you if the food you have eaten will actually knock you out of fat burning. So you got to know how to do that. And a coach will explain that. Number 4, big one. Most of you seniors are chronically dehydrated. It's going to affect your hormones. It's going to affect the rate of your weight loss. It's going to affect the rate of adding muscle. You have to give the body water. minimum of 63 ounces per day. We recommend 110 to 100 ounces a day. You also need to add electrolytes when you're drinking 63 ounces a day or more, because when you're fasting, your kidneys are flushing out that excess water in your body, and along with it goes your electrolytes, minerals. So you got to make sure you're replacing those. People that have imbalanced electrolytes will see a lot of issues: headaches, fatigue, cramping, of course, stuff like that. That's your indication that you're lacking electrolytes. Okay, and number 5, you have to do some type of resistance training. You have to. The last 2 videos I explained to the seniors out there that their lack of protein per day is going to cause them not to reach their fat burning goals or adding lean muscle. Remember, the more you add, the fastest way to burn that body fat off is to add lean muscle. That's the fastest way to do it. Besides fasting, of course, and that's going to help elevate your growth hormones, which is going to help your muscle building hormones. So you're going to start adding lean muscle. So they kind of all work together. But cardio is not going to do it, guys. It's not going to do it. Now, I do a couple days a week, some type of cardio, hiking, biking, paddleboarding, surfing, whatever. I want to make sure that I get my heart rate up a few times. Now, exercise, resistance training will put you into a cardio environment. You'll actually put you in that. If you've got a Fitbit watch on, it'll tell you right there when you're exercising with the right workout program and you're doing it right. It will say you're in cardio. So, you don't want to overdo cardio, because then you're not going to build the lean muscle. But older people should do some type of outside exercising, like walking or hiking, for good heart health. Okay? So let me repeat it real quick. The 5 things you absolutely have to start right off the bat if you're looking to lose that belly fat or body fat, or if you want to add lean muscle, you're 40, 50, 60, or 70 plus. Have a structured meal plan, high fat, low carbs. Combine it with different fasting protocols. Pick the fasting protocol that works best for you, or ask your coach, and he's going to probably tell you or have you do different times to find the one that best suits you and your lifestyle. Okay? Number 2, calculate your BMR, just to kind of give you a baseline to see where your grams of fats are supposed to be at, where your grams of protein are supposed to be at, and where your grams of carbs should be at, to keep adding lean muscle and burn that body fat off at the same time. Calorie wise, don't worry about it. You don't even have to think. Don't even think about it. All you want to think about is where you are as far as your grams. Number 3, got to monitor your blood glucose level to see if that food you're eating is causing you to elevate your insulin, which is a hormone that's known to store fat. You got to control that hormone, along with ketones. You got to make sure when your liver is producing ketones, because you're on a high fat, low carb meal plan, then it's called a GFI, glucose, GKI, I'm sorry, it's called a GKI, called the glucose ketone index, and that's going to measure your ketones that are being produced by the liver which are dumped in the blood. That's known as rocket fuel. That's why people feel energetic when they're doing the high fat, low carb meals. Okay? Number 4, hydrate and replace your electrolytes. Very important. You don't hydrate, don't even attempt to try to do any of these. Okay? And of course, number 5, resistance weight training. You got to find a trainer that's experienced with us older people, who will put you on a interval strength training safely, and that will challenge you. and that he is going to document it every day. You have to document your workout every single day, the amount of reps you do and how much weight you do. That's the only way you're going to see when it's time to elevate your weights. That you don't want to go too high too fast, because why? Well, you're going to get hurt. Okay, so you need to find a trainer. Most of the young trainers out there are not experienced for seniors like us. Look for a trainer that's been a trainer for quite a few years and specializes in older people. And most likely he's going to put you on a good strength training workout routine and explain to him what you're looking to do. You want to put on lean muscle and lose that body fat. And he says if he or she comes back and says, well, I'm going to have to tell you, be honestly, you're kind of old. I don't know if that's going to happen. Walk away. Don't even comment. Don't say nothing, because obviously they're not experienced. Okay? So now that is going to get you started. And at the end of this topic, I like to read at least one research that I found that relates to what I'm talking about. Okay? And I'm going to go back to protein, because that seems to be an issue with a lot of health professionals recommending seniors on what their nutrition should be, how much protein they should be eating. So there seems to be a lot of misconception or bad advice out there for seniors when it comes to having protein per day. So this research, particular one, came out of the Journal of Nutrition. I think it was published, I didn't write it down, I think it was published like in 2017. But I'm going to read to you what the actual research was designed to do and what they discovered. Okay, so this is not my words. This is their words. So this is the research. So it came from the Journal of Nutrition. Elderly adults are less responsive to the anabolic stimulus of low doses of amino acids, proteins, intake compared to younger adults. All that means is that we as older adults do not utilize protein as well as our younger counterparts or our younger adults. That's what it's saying. Okay? However, this lack of responsiveness in elderly adults can be overcome with higher levels of protein consumption. There is the issue that some nutritionists and health professionals or trainers are having when trying to explain to an elderly person that they shouldn't be eating that much protein. And that answer or that response is not true. And I'll explain it. I mean, the research will explain why. So, however, this lack of responsiveness in elderly adults can be overcome with higher levels of protein consumption. Remember what I said. Us seniors, we do not metabolize protein like we used to when we were younger. So, if I were to consume 100 grams of protein per day, and a younger counterpart or the younger adult consumed the exact same number of protein per day, that younger person is going to utilize more of the benefits from that protein than we are. That's just nature. That's just because of our age. That's why they're saying that higher levels of protein consumption is what seniors need to do. Okay. This is also reflected in studies comparing varying levels of protein intake. This suggests that the lack of muscle responsiveness to lower doses of protein, for some reason, this is a chronic issue today with elderly people. they just don't eat enough protein. And they know now through science and research that because of the lack of protein, this is the issue seniors are having when it comes to breaking bones or being weak or having issues with walking and things like that. So this is it. This is one of the major root causes to elderly seniors because they have lack of protein. This suggests that the lack of muscle responsive to lower doses of protein in elderly adults can be overcome with a higher level of protein intake. There we go again. They're telling you, overcome a higher level, higher doses. So obviously there's not enough science to say that it's bad for you. That's going to cause liver issues or kidney. The biggest thing is kidney issues. Okay, so be smart about it though. You know, that's why a coach comes, and a coach can guide you to make sure your levels of protein are adequate enough for what you're looking to do. Okay, those can overcome the requirements of larger dose of protein is to generate responsive in elderly adults similar to the responses in younger adults. What they're saying here is the older adults want to get up to where the younger adults are when it comes to protein metabolizing. Okay? Younger adult provides a support for a beneficial effect of increased protein in elderly population. How many times have I said increase? How many times have I said higher doses of protein? Exactly what it's telling us here. The consumption of dietary protein consists with upper end. What they mean is that with dietary, I'm talking about your meats, your eggs, your dairies, pork, fish, vegetable protein, so forth. Research is saying they want the adults to raise their protein intake as much as 30 to 35% of total calorie intake it provides to be beneficial. For me, I'm at 35%. So on my BMR, to check my protein gram, I'm at 60% of my calories come from fat. 35% of my calories are coming from protein, so I can add lean muscle. That puts me at 214 grams a day. I've been over 150, 60, 70, 80, 90 grams a day for probably 20 years, 30 years. I get a blood test every 6 months. My kidney counts are phenomenal. I'm not having any issues. Okay? So get that out of your mind, guys, that high protein is going to cause, if you're a healthy older adult, don't worry about the protein. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to cause your kidneys to fail. There's science that even proves that's not going to happen. Okay? So they want you to raise your protein intake 30 to 35%. That's how you find out by doing the BMR as one of the things you need to do to get a baseline. Your total provides is beneficial. Okay. The consumption of high quality. Now, this is the difference. This is where people get it wrong. When it comes to kidney, when it comes to a trainer or a health professional or a nutritionist telling a elderly person that they have to be careful of their protein intake, this is where the issue is. Because what happens is most of you are eating bad protein, toxic protein, chemically induced protein, causing inflammation in the body and in the gut, which is making the gut sick. What we're talking about here, and what this research is talking about here, is a good quality protein. Now, what's the definition of a good quality protein? I've you guys that follow me, I've told you this over and over and over again. You're going to have to go out and spend a little extra money. If you're combining fasting with your lifestyle, then going out and getting pasture raised, grass finished food, meats like and eggs and chicken and whatever, and getting organic dairies, which are higher priced, it actually works out at the same price. Because why? Well, if you're fasting, you're doing what? You're not eating. So you're saving money, right? So it actually works out. And by the way, we buy all of our meats from Butcher Box, and when you calculate it out, it's cheaper for me to get it from Butcher Box than it does from a health food store. So I have it delivered every month to my house. It works out great. So what makes pasture raised, grass finished meats and eggs and dairy products? And your cows have to be pasture raised and grass finished also. So you're getting the organic milk or dairy from those cows. Your store-bought dairy products, guys, has got A1 casein in it. If you that follow me know that causes inflammation of the gut. That causes lactose sensitivity. That causes all kinds of bad issues. You notice at the stores, look in the milk section now. You're going to start seeing A2 milk in there. Those are cows that are pasture raised, grass finished, and when they check the DNA of that milk, once it comes out of the cow, it's got A2 casein in it, and that is a healthy protein. Okay? What happens? It's much, much easier for your body to digest high quality protein in dairy products. Which means it's going to be less issues with the kidneys. All the way around, it causes less issues. So you really need to look into the higher quality proteins. Now, maintaining independence, quality of life, and health is critical for elderly adults. One of the major threats to living independently is the loss of muscle mass. And we talked about that, falling, breaking bones, being weak. Loss of muscle mass, strength, and functions that progressively occur with aging. Those of you that have parents that basically are on a lot of medication or are not healthy, I'm sure you've seen them as they get older, they get worse and worse. That's because of their lifestyle, and that's because of lack of muscle. Their muscle is deteriorating throughout their aging progress. A loss of reduction in skeletal function often leads to increased, what they're saying is increased medical issues such as diseases, what they call secondary diseases, which I don't know what that means, but second, to me, it should be first, not second, such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and obesity. So the deterioration of muscle mass as they're aging causes other medical issues. This is the research. It's like I said, it's not me. Okay? We're almost done here. But this is important to know. The prevalence of obesity among elderly adults has also increased over the last several decades up to epidemic levels. We all know that. Most of the adults are way overweight, and most of them have type 2 diabetes because they're overweight. One reason for the increase in obesity could be due to body composition shifts that occur as we age. Well, now they're saying could be due. A lot of science is not saying, they're saying it is. It is due to that. It is due to increased obesity is causing many medical issues, and one of the biggest ones is type 2 diabetes, and it's going to shift the body composition, obviously. Okay? So, resulting in a higher percentage of body, okay, now shifts that occur as we age resulting in a higher percentage of body fat and decrease in muscle mass with age. Nutrition plays an essential role in the health and function of elderly adults. Inadequate nutrition can contribute to the development of both muscle loss and obesity. Well, they work together. I mean, that's just it. That's a fact. It's not, is it, or if it is a fact. Okay? Several studies have identified protein as a key nutrient for elderly adults. We are starting to see, us health professionals who do a lot of research, we are starting to see more and more scientific information coming out about this on adults. Now, why is that? Baby boomers are huge now. Huge. I mean, there are a whole lot of us out there. And so obviously the medical issues of type 2 diabetes and obesity is going to be more noticeable because there's so much out there. It's epidemic. Both of them are. Okay? Okay, now this is the conclusion to the research. Of course, this research is really long, and it actually breaks down what they did, how they did it, who they researched. I mean, it was detailed out. Protein intake greater than, now this is important to understand, because if I were to go by what the government, the recommendation of the government says of amounts of protein that I need per day at my age, I couldn't work out like I do now. I would not put on the lean muscle like I have been, okay? Protein intake greater than the recommended amounts may improve muscle health, prevent muscle loss. Now, they have to put in there may improve for legal reasons, I guess. The problem is they've proved it does work in seniors. I told you research the last video. It works. It's working for us. It'll work for you. It'll work for anybody 40, 50, 60, 70 plus if they're following the right nutritional program and workout routine. Those are the big factors, okay? And help maintain energy. Okay, prevent muscle loss, may improve muscle health, prevent muscle loss, and help maintain energy balance. That's one of the biggest things they notice right off the bat. Weight management and cardiovascular function. Benefits of increased protein intake include improved muscle function and the prevention on-site chronic diseases, which can increase quality of life in healthy elderly adults. That's what we're looking for. Quality of life with what time we have left on this earth. Therefore, the purpose of this review is to present the current evidence related to dietary protein intake and muscle health in elderly adults. Bam. There you go. Okay? Guys, I hope that was some good information for you to take to whatever you want to do. You guys can go to my weight loss or my fat loss made easy Facebook group page. Join it. I have some of my fat burning recipes on there. I have a free ebook. If you're looking to get ready for your bikini for this summer, there's a free ebook on there. If you have type 2 diabetes, I got a free ebook on there on the root cause of it, how to get off the medication, and also how to lower your blood sugar. Pretty simple. It is simple, actually, if you know how to do it. Also, guys, you can go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry. You can go into my playlist and look in the senior category, and my senior videos will be in that playlist. So there'll be other ones in there also. Also, guys, real quick, I published a few books on Amazon Books. And for those of you that are looking to get ready for summer and you want to get there as soon as possible, my one ebook I have on there, this is what it's called right here. You might want to go ahead and purchase that and get started on the recommendations on how not to make mistakes, because that's the one issue that many beginners have, or people have, is they make mistakes right off the bat and they get frustrated and quit. Also, you can go on there and purchase this one, which will explain what a high-fat, low-carb meal or diet is, or a meal is, and why so many people are getting the benefits on it. When you know when you know why the foods work, it makes it a lot easier to follow the program. So, guys, hope you saw some value in this. And I hope to see those of you that aren't at my Fat Loss Made Easy Facebook group page. I hope to see you in there. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Have a great day.